dress is drenched with her sweat. A cold trickle slides from under her finger. She tries to stop it before it goes any deeper, but the nervous rubbing of her chest makes it worse. She gasps for air, looks nervously into the night, begs for it to lift so that their intentions are revealed. It's the unknown that makes her panic. Where are they going? Why is she the only passenger? Who are they? What are they planning to do with her? Which way is home? They are staring at her openly now. The smiles are gone. Without caring what she may overhear, they talk loudly over the drumming of the engine. Boy Skipper leaves his friend in charge of the steering wheel and heads down the 2 steep steps into the passenger cabin. Nicola holds her breath. Her suddenly lifeless hand peels off her chest, leaving it exposed. She was gagging for it, Boy Skipper will say, and they will believe him. He leans over her. A sharp change of direction throws the boat to one side, tossing him at her, his hand landing in her lap. Nicola screams, pushes the bulk of his body away from her. But in that second, reinforced by the velocity of the lurching boat, he is way too heavy. Quickly, he pulls himself up and inquires with the most reverential customer-centered concern. "Is Madame feeling sick? It is not very much longer. Itsuru is that light, over that way." The first lights of Itsuru shimmer weak and tentative, but soon many more of them break up the night. At first, travelling alone didn't seem like such a bad idea. She bravely joined the queue to check into her flight to Colombo. Heathrow was buzzing with anonymity, an extension of London where everybody minds their own business and no one establishes either body or eye contact. Nicola was in her element. She had stood in an orderly queue of like-minded travellers. Behind her, 3 women were bubbling with conversation. 3 women and no man, and they were perfectly happy. Well, 2 of them were, the younger ones. The older one, a mother figure after a fashion, sounded rather neurotic. Nicola hazarded a gaze behind her, observing the back view of a titch of a woman with fluffy fair hair, the compact body of a marathon runner, and a high-voltage disposition. She was at a loss to tell why the woman was so paranoid. She wasn't the one going anywhere. The other 2 were. "Tara, concentrate, please." She was pulling the tall, blonde girl by the sleeve. "You must call me the moment you arrive so I know all is well. Do you hear me?" "Mom, you can't come with us beyond this point, see? Only passengers with boarding passes." The tormented young lady was beginning to sound relieved. "I'll call you. One last hug?" She took her mother into her arms, where the woman briefly disappeared without trace, and then she was gone. Soon after, the 2 girls vanished as well. Nicola saw them through a crowd of people, chatting with 2 young men from the back of the queue. They all looked in full holiday swing, laughing, taking selfies on their mobile phones, and exchanging text messages, even though they stood right next to each other. It was then that Nicola had had her first doubt. She was no longer part of the gang, not even in her own head. They didn't know her from Adam. She was on her own. "Madame Eagles travel alone?" At arrivals in Mali, Boy Skipper could not help himself. He gawped at her modest suitcase, willing Mr. Eagles to jump out of there and put everything right. She nodded and pointed to her suitcase. "That's my luggage." "One bag?" "So it is." She tried not to look guilty. As they walked towards the jetty, Nicola's bag rattling behind Boy Skipper, he tried again. "Mr. Eagles? Will he be joining later?" "No, he isn't coming." She felt the sticky heat creep up to her cheeks, a burning blush. There was no Mr. Eagles. Had never been. Nicola had never married. Mr. Wright had eluded her all her life, and she was not the type to go and look for him. She lacked initiative. She was a human koala bear, a recluse content with her own company and easily pleased with a celery stick chewed thoughtfully in front of the TV. She had passions, but they were purely academic. Buried in books and furiously typing articles about the angst in Pushkin's verse, Nicola had hardly noticed that her youth had sailed past and disappeared over the horizon, while she had been perfecting